Anthrage of the Bloody Point here today to talk about group harvesting. This is in conjunction with an article by community member Anhrez, the Econ PvPer, on the same topic. We are going to break this down into 10 categories. First up is the category of skills and gear. Skills are very important to everything in Crowfall, but especially so when it comes to harvesting. Some things, such as motherlode harvesting, cannot even be done without skills. Here you can see I have the necessary skills for increasing the gem drop chance, making the picks last longer, doing damage to the motherlodes, and we're also invested in increasing our yield through the ore specialization categories, which include critical chance increase, critical drop increase, the beneficial harvesting, the plentiful nodes, and so on. This can also be buffed, these stats buffed through gear, which includes bonuses on the armor as well as on the jewelry. These are all avenues of increasing your stats, and they are very important for serious group harvesting efforts. Next up, we are going to look at tools and potions. Tools, of course, can also increase these stats. As you can see, they can buff your plentiful, mining damage, the damage to the nodes. Same with the potions. One potion that's extremely important is the gem harvest chance, which is very, very vital to get the most out of your group harvesting session when you are looking for those, specialized drops, the gems and the minerals. Here we're going to see the pre-potion drinking stats for plentiful. As you can see, I have 3 in most of these, and then we have the gem drop chance. There's a look at the mineral, but we're focusing on gems in this case, and I'm at 10%. We are going to go ahead and drink these potions, which we got from an alchemist. Glug, glug, glug. Potions. There we go. And give a second for the details to update. The stats take a bit to update. Sometimes you have to close and open the interface again. Now we should have an increase in both our plentiful stat and our gem harvest stat. There you can see we were at 10% before, and now we are at 30. And my plentiful stats will also have increased. You can see we went from 3 to 4 in some cases. This is another important avenue of increasing your stats, and paired with your skill training, it'll get you a long way. Next up, runes and powers. Runes and powers are an additional source of increased effectiveness. When you are doing mother loads or any group harvesting, there are certain vital runes such as Foreman. Villain is very important, and Connoisseur if you want to increase the specialized drops such as gems and minerals. These powers must be slotted and used in order to even take down the node. Specifically in this case, you are looking at the Take It Down power, which reduces the armor on the motherlode, and the Back to Work power, which increases or regenerates stamina for those harvesting. Without those two powers in use, you cannot do the job. So here I am with my colleague Coolster. We have done all the preparation work that we can here in the safety of the beachhead, and we're going to head out into the campaign world and take a crack at some group harvesting. Now, the minimal size group you need for these group harvesting efforts in terms of hitting mother loads, be they ore or stone, is 2 people. So we're going to do this test with 2 people and show you how that can be done. Now, the camping world is not safe, so keep in mind that this is a PvP game and you have to be ready for just about everything. And as we're going to see, that was the case. Now we have route and rhythm. Choosing your route or route when you are harvesting is very important. Here you see we're exiting the beachhead, and there are some small mother loads nearby, but the real targets are going to be the adventure parcels. Here you see many ore mother loads located here. You're planning your route. You're going to keep in mind where enemies are located, who owns what territory, where the fortifications are. Here we have another adventure zone near the keep, which contains the stone mother loads. We're not interested in those. We're just going to do a basic test here and focus on an isolated mother lode. Now, the importance of what we call rhythm or cadence is key. Here we're going to show a bad example. First of all, you'll notice that the damage numbers, there we have a 60, they're not big, they're not chained. I'm not doing the correct timing of reducing the armor and or regenerating stamina. You have to watch for a particular graphical effect when you do these attacks, and my colleague and I are not timing them well, and as such you can see we're not getting a good amount of damage output on this node. Now when you're doing this, here it's relaxed, there's no enemy around, it's fine. But in a serious campaign situation, sometimes you'll be in enemy territory, and it's not just a question of efficiency, it's a question of survival. Having good rhythm is extremely important. So now we're going to demonstrate a better example of good rhythm. You'll notice with the damage numbers and the rate at which the node goes down that we're actually chaining these attacks correctly. And we're rewarded with, I can see there's some gemstones, and that's what you're looking for. Of course you do get a lot of ore as well, which is nice, but the main target here are those specialized gems, since this is the only source of those. Now the other thing to keep in mind when you are doing group harvesting is the fact that you have to have the right components, you know, all these things that we've discussed so far, all these different categories, the gear, the tools, the skill training, etc. But the last component of this effort is the people, the personnel, the people that are in your group, and that is the next topic, and the last and most important topic, I feel, composition and protection. Now, group composition, here you'll see I have harvesting stats. Wait, did you hear that? I heard something. Yeah, that's a fade dodge. That's not good. That probably means there's an assassin somewhere hiding in the trees. Fortunately, I have combat gear on. Let's see. Is it from there? I heard it again. So, as I mentioned earlier, you're doing these harvesting efforts in the open campaign world. Sometimes this will be in enemy territory. You know, it doesn't matter how effective your harvesting efforts are if you don't make it home with your goods. Having some form of protection with you in your harvesting runs is extremely important, be that combat-capable harvesters or dedicated guards. Crowfall is a PvP game after all, and harvesting is not excluded from that. That's all for now. Wish me luck, hope I survive, and I hope this has been helpful.